Hey. What happens when you combine software development with hardware development to create a perfect fusion of sound quality and functionality in a single product? Introducing the VSX modeling headphones by Slate Audio. These are some of the absolute flattest headphones in the game that were designed to be absolutely sonically neutral for one specific purpose: referencing your mix in the most efficient and effective way possible. That means when you wear these headphones, you combine them with the VSX modeling software to choose from multiple different mixing environments and speakers as you're finalizing your track. And what this means for you is the ability to check your mix in the club without being in the club, test your master in a studio without going to a studio, or the ability to hear your mix in the car without bouncing your track, listening to it in the car, and going back and forth to make revisions, which can be very time-consuming and unnecessary. But sometimes instead of explaining it, it's easier to just listen to the finished results. So here's a mix before and after I mixed it listening through the VSX headphones and room emulations. And after the finished results, I'll break down these adjustments that I made and how VSX helped me make them along the way. I'ma focus on anything but you. Thinking that you're the reason why everything wasn't feeling right, but everything going right now. That was a night and day difference to my ears, but let's put on our VSX headphones and do some mixing adjustments using the VSX plugin. Now, of course, you're not going to be able to hear it correctly through speakers or other types of headphones, so I'm going to do the best I can to describe what I'm hearing as I listen in the different speakers and different rooms that the plugin has to offer. First, I'm going to enable the VSX plugin on my master and choose a mixing room. I want to listen to my song in Mike Dean's studio. So let's pull up Mike Dean's room. Wow. I can hear the tightness of the room around me. It's crazy. It's like you're not wearing headphones. You can definitely hear a pair of near-field smaller speakers. Let's try the mains. Whoa. Oh, this is bumping. The main speakers are thumping. You could really feel like you just switched to a massive pair of speakers. So when you listen in the near fields, you could tell that this is a smaller pair of speakers, a little bit less low-end extension, and then when you switch to the mains, you get a really great perspective. But even then, as I was listening back and forth, I noticed there wasn't enough balance between my kick and 808. So I'm going to go in here and grab my kick, and let's take a loop right here. I think we need more sidechain to get this kick cutting through the 808 better. There it is. Let me switch back to the smaller speakers, because this really helps me hear if I have my kick and bass set right. And there it is. Much better. I can already tell my instrumental is sounding way more pumping thanks to the speaker emulations in Mike Dean's studio. Another way you might like to check your mix is in a car. I know when I'm checking a mix in a car, I always like to see if I have the balance between the vocals and the beat correct. So let's take a listen to what we have here in Mike Dean's SUV. Whoa, this really feels like a car. This is crazy. I feel like I could use a little bit more vocal cutting through the beat. Cars are always so revealing on how you have the different main elements of your track balanced, and that's the first thing I notice when I'm listening through Mike Dean's car. So I'm going to throw the FG-MU here on my all vocals group, a little bit of a mastering compressor just on the acapella. There's a lot of drums and punchy elements in the beat, and just by having a little bit of an increase in volume here, and then a little bit of a threshold for control. Oh, and that's slicing through way better. And just a tiny little bit of compression made a huge difference. And this plugin allowed me to make these mixing decisions without having to bounce out different versions of my song and go listen in my car. Let's keep switching rooms and see what else we could hear, because now that I think I'm ready to master my song, I could give it a listen in a mastering studio. So let's just double click here. We have engineer and client speakers. Let's take a listen. And this room sounds so different, but so detailed, especially in the mid-range. And wow. This room is tight, but the speakers feel medium-sized, not so big and so small like the last room, which is really helping me get a better perspective on what the mid-range of my mix is sounding like. And I'm hearing a little bit of conflict between the vocals and the music. So to fix that, I'm going to pull up an infinity EQ and drop it here on all the instruments in my beat. And a simple group adjustment here on all the synths is going to be all it takes to help that not compete. So I'm going to listen to a little loop here where there's a lot of strings and a lot of vocals and see if I could find a spot where I could dip out the strings to let the vocals shine through better. So let's create a point and sweep through the frequencies. Yeah, right around 2K. Around 2.5. And that already sounds so much cleaner between the lyrics and the strings that are both doing something special at the same time. And while I was listening in these engineer speakers, I noticed that overall dynamics of my master could be boosted a little bit. So let's go into our FGX and let's try turning up some dynamic perception. Hey. Low punch on the bass. High frequency details. We can even pull our vocal back a little bit more. Push our master up a little bit. These speakers and the way this room sounds just feels so extra dynamic and clear, giving me a great perspective on the adjustments I'm making here on my master chain. And now let's turn off our VSX plugin and take a listen to the finished version of our mix with all the adjustments that we applied for you to hear the finished product. And before. And after. Before. And after. As you could hear, VSX really helped us bring out not only the best in the instrumental, add more thump to that kick, but create more space for the vocals in the instrumental and find those beautiful dynamics in the master that we need to make our finished upload competitively loud, punchy, and clear. The Slate VSX setup costs $479 and also offers a rent-to-own option where you can pay $19.99 a month until you've paid them off completely. Plus a 30-day satisfaction guarantee where if you're not getting the best mixes of your life, you can return your headphones for a full refund within that time period. If you want to try Steven Slate Audio VSX in your studio, I'll include a link in the description below and catch you guys next time in another tutorial. Peace out.